Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman with the Strat-O-Matic Network here. And we've got an afternoon game. The Seattle Pilots at the Chicago White Sox. It is a doubleheader. It's just a two-game series. It's just on this date. And it's the first game of our games on September 17. And going in the first game will be Marty Patton, the right-hander. He has won 5. And Jerry Nyman, a left-hander, he has won 1 game. And I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so with the lineups for this first game of the doubleheader. Again, this is the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network. Oh, Lord, help me. Ah. Okay, let's look at our opening lineups here. For the Pilots, leading off will be Tommy Harper at third. Batting second in center field, Steve Hovley. Batting third and playing right is Wayne Comer. The cleanup hitter, playing left field, Danny Walton. Batting fifth at first, Greg Goosen. Batting sixth and catching, Jerry McNerney. Fred Stanley batting seventh, he'll play second base. Ray Oyler back in the lineup. He'll bat eighth and play short. And pitching, the right-hander, Marty Patton. He's won 5 on the season. For the Chicago White Sox, leading off in right field is Walt Williams. Batting second in center field, getting a start today, Angel Bravo. Batting third and playing first base, Bob Spence, and he is not carded. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter at third, Bill Melton. Batting fifth, the catcher, Ed Herman. Bob Christian will bat sixth and play left field. Rich Morales batting seventh at short. Bobby Knopp batting eighth at second base. And the pitcher, a very spot starter. He had 10. He's won 1. Left-hander with a 5.29 ERA, Jerry Neumann. And we got about 5 minutes till the first pitch. So please stand by. Oh. This was a day game. This was rescheduled from a rainout on June 17. I guess they only had one game left after this, which was on the 17th. Attendance 3,600. White Sox won this one 6-4. I'm looking ahead to see if they do play again. That would be unusual that this was just one game, a one-game series, because it is rescheduled. And it looks like they do not play again. Nope. And in about 2 minutes, we expect the White Sox to take the field. Oh. Oh, Lord. Demos. We've got our our super advanced ground ball result chart and updated fielding chart. And who knows, someday soon I may be able to go into the textbook and pull out everything else I haven't been doing. And the White Sox take the field. Here's Jerry Nyman taking the mound. It's Nyman on the mound. Catching him is Herman. Spence at first. Knopp at second. Morales at short. Melton at third, outfield left to right. Christian, Bravo, and Williams. And leading it off will be Tommy Harper. We have what I like to do, demos, is I call it a battery equation. So, coming into this game, Patton and McNertney are a 0. Nyman and Herman are a +5, and because the reason why is because Nyman is a +5, Herman is a +1, not to exceed -5 to +5. So we'll put him at a +5. You taught me that, and I've got that. And here's Harper, who is a candidate to steal. And we'll see what happens here. Home to first double play with the infield in. Let me check that out. Home to first. With the infield in. Yeah, I see that with the bases loaded. I guess that you're referring to with the bases loaded there on an A. And I'll tell you something. I've seen that. That is a very awkward play to watch, isn't it? I guess hopefully they would go to home first, but that's great. Knopp, you pronounced it Knoop? I don't know. I'm not sure if it's Knopp or Knoop. I've got all my things here. I've got my, when stretching with a hold on X, fly ball B, add 2 to the equation. I've got my stealing here. And we're almost getting to a point where we don't need the stealing, but we're gonna keep it until we think it's unnecessary. Nyman is ready. Harper steps in. Here's the windup and the pitch to Harper. That's gonna be a 5-11, right-handed. That's gonna be a ballpark slash. It's Knopp. Yeah, I go Knopp. Knopp. Okay. That's going to be a 5-11 right-handed ballpark slash in Chicago. He is right-handed. And that's going to be a base hit for Harper. Now Harper will be held. Might as well just give him second base. Look at that, 2 to 6, 11, and 12. No chance of caught stealing. He's going to be 19. With the equation, he's going to be 24. We're going to keep adding it up until we get to the end. 1924. Being held 1924 even with a lead, 24, 22 or a 20. He's going to be a 19, 1 to 19 with a lead. And that's what it looks like. Pick off, huh? Shit. Here goes here goes Harper. With Hovley at the plate, he's safe. So Harper has stolen second. And he's going to be stealing off them all day if they continue with this battery. Pick off when trying to lead, and that is not a T rating. That is not an error. We're not playing it yet, but we'll get ready eventually. On the 7, it was not thrown away. So Hovley at the plate with Harper on second, no out. And here's Nyman now. The pitch to Hovley. This is lefty-lefty. That's going to be 110 left-handed. It's a base hit to left. This might score Harper. .110 left-handed, single, non-clutch situation, 1-17, and they'll let him score and keep Hovley at first. I always felt that was the right thing to do, and then demos I heard him say, I think he said it in our discussion, that he wouldn't try to get him, even though, you know, I don't know where I would cut it off. But 2 straight singles. Harper singled, stole second, and now Hovley with a base hit. He's a B. 1-16, 1-21, 1-19. So we're gonna try to get a lead with Hovley here. No, he does not get the lead. He doesn't have to go. He's not thrown out. But he would be a 1-12, 1-17. My goodness. And a 1-13 with the holds. 1-13. And we will not send him. He's not being held. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's not being held. I'm sorry. Hovley is being held. I'm so sorry. He is being held. Yeah. So here's Comer now. So 1-13 without a lead. And here's Comer now. 2 straight singles. Nyman now. And the pitch to Comer. That's going to be a 3-4 left-handed. Pops it up behind the plate. Foul territory. Herman off with the mask and makes the catch. 1 out. So there's the first out of the ball game. Now Walton is the batter. We can unhold. He's not being held. Again, I'm going to just remind people, Hovley not being held. We've already tried for the lead. He didn't get it. He's a 1-17, without the lead. 1-12, 1-17, and then not being held. Actually, it's a 1-17. Wait a minute. I better hold him. Okay, now I see. I better hold him. Yeah. Let me check Hovley out again. Hovley is, he tried to get the lead. He couldn't get it. He's a 12, a 1-12 with the battery equation. He's 1-17. And minus 1-17, being held without a lead, -4. Okay, he's 1-13. Okay. That's what I thought he was. Here's Walton now. He's being held. Here's Nyman. And that's going to be 5'10" right-handed, walked him. So Nyman having some troubles here in the first and second with one out. And here's Greg Goosen. He was an interesting guy. You watch Short Flight in History, the story of Seattle. Okay, Goosen, big, powerful hitter. First and second, one out. Here's Nyman. And the pitch to Goosen. That's 5-3, right-handed. Grounds it back to Nyman X. He is a 4-0. Ah, 4-0, 12-4. It's a G3. He gets to it. It's a clean G3 with a 0 E rating. Hasn't pitched enough, I suppose. And with first and second, we'll have them advance. And it's 2 away. So Walton on second, Hovley on third, 2 down. Here's McNertney now, 1 in. Harper just underway here at Comiskey. Here's Nyman. That's 3-6 left-handed, chops it to second. And he throws him out. I assume, by the way, this ground ball, I did not have to look at the ground ball X result chart because it's built into the super advanced fielding. So the side is retired. It's 1 run on 2 hits, a walk, and 2 left on. I guess Nyman is a bit lucky to have gotten out of that as he did. Here's Marty Patton now and Seattle. Patton on the mound taking his warm-ups. Catching him is McNertney. Setting it up. Goosen at first, Stanley at second, Euler at short, Harper at third, outfield left to right, Walton, Hovley, and Comer. And leading it off for the Chi Sox is Walt Williams. So you thought the K was silent in Canop. It's possible. Here's Patton now. He's ready, and the pitch to Williams. That's going to be 2-6 right-handed. Lines it to second, caught by Stanley. 1 down. Now Angel Bravo, left-handed hitter. No neck Williams. Yeah, I've heard that. I guess it's possible to have no neck. I mean, you know, it depends what the neck is, how you define it. But I believe he had, you know, everything needed, like a throat, an esophagus, and all that stuff. All that good stuff. He had the illusion. It was maybe very compact. Okay, here's Patton now. The pitch to Bravo. That's going to be 1-3 right-handed. Pops it up behind the plate. Now it's McNertney off with the mask. And yeah, I miss Kathy Harden. I hope she's not mad at me or something. But I miss Kathy Harden. She has not been here in a couple days. And kind of I don't want to bother her. Okay, I could email her, ask her if everything's all right. I don't want to even talk about her out of respect in her absence, but she's terribly missed. It's 2 outs, nobody on, and here comes Spence now. He is not Carter. His name is Bob Spence. And against the right-hander, he's not exactly a great hitter, but we're going to let him hit. At least we let him hit a couple times in the game. Because if they're winning, we'll keep them in. Here's Patton now. Left-handed hitter, Spence. The wind-up and the pitch. That's going to be 3-9 on Spence against the right-hander, and he struck him out. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Patton. And thanks to Road Scholar for sending Bob here today. We didn't have Bob. Week on 1, it's Seattle 1, Chicago nothing. Head to the top of the second here. We have a second game of this double is already scheduled for tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And if you're looking... It will be Skip Lockwood for the Pilots and Billy Wynn for the Chi Sox. Okay, it's Fred Stanley leading it off, and I'm really enjoying demos, I gotta tell you, and Joel, really enjoying playing the super advanced elements that I've incorporated. The game seems so much better. It really does. It really, really does. Oh, Joel, that was a killer. Yeah, you did. I don't know if you saw it this morning, Joel. If you saw that, the Braves take them with 5 runs in the top of the 9th. They're 4.5 out now. The Giants. Terrible. Got to move on. I played a game immediately after that. Okay, here's Stanley now facing Nyman, the windup and the pitch. That's going to be 3-5 left-handed. That's a drive hit out by Stanley into the gap. In left center, dropping, and he's in with a double to lead it off Nyman. And look at Stanley with that double there, right on his card, clean. He was a 279 hitter in 43 at-bats. He started this game real world. Oh, you're on the West Coast. Yeah. Just unbelievable. Good news is that the last game of this date, this is the first game. The last game, believe it or not, it's the last game, is Pittsburgh at St. Louis, 2-game series, Cards 2 games out. So I think I've given up just about on San Francisco, even though it's possible. The magic number for Atlanta is 10 right now, with 14 left to play. Here's Euler now. They need a seriously bad losing streak. Atlanta does, in order for the Giants to have any real shot at this. Here's Nyman now. The windup and the pitch to Euler. So we look for a ground ball here. We're going to be looking if it's not X on the ground ball chart. 411. It's hit deep by Euler. And Lord, he's got power. And Lord, no. At the warning track, caught by Christian. Oh my, what a catch by Bob Christian. Oh, Euler pops them every once in a while. He may have hit 165, but every once in a while he pops one, and boy did he get a hold of that one. He's got the end power. Let's look at that again here. It was a 411 right-handed. Look at that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a ballpark blast. I am so sorry. I misread that. That may not be a flyout. That is a ballpark blast. We look at it again. Anyway, 411 ballpark blast. Let's see if it'll go. Comiskey right-handed. It's on a 20, though. Oh, Lord, it's on a 20. That's good. That's going to be a flyout. It is, and it stands. But we almost missed that one. So one down, here's Marty Patton. Almost missed that. It's Stanley on second, one out. Patton a 2 WR. Here's the pitch from Neumann. That's a 2-6, struck him out. And that's the first strikeout for Neumann today. Now it's a clutch situation for Tommy Harper. He only hit 235. He walked 95 times. Managed to steal 73, which is just, 70, 80, 91. Really awesome. So in a clutch situation, here's Harper, Neumann trying to get out of this. Here's Neumann from the stretch. Pitch to Harper, 1-6 left-handed, and that is a ground ball to second. With 2 outs, I don't have to worry about the result chart. 1-6 left-handed. I just want to let you know that I'm cognizant of that. Knopp has it, and he throws him out. The side is retired. It was 1-6 left-handed. Of course, the plus is ignored in Super Advanced. We're heading to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Seattle. Here's Marty Patton now. He retired the side in order in the first. And Bill Melton to lead it off. Christian and then Morales. Here's Patton now. The wind up, the pitch to Melton. That's going to be 6-9 right-handed, struck him out. That's 2 in a row for Marty. And now Ed Herman, the catcher. Here's Patton. 5-8, left-handed, grounds it to second X. Joel, I'm going to need to check that out. When the infield is in. Okay, I'll need to check that out. I thought it was both infield in and held. You ignore them. I did not know that. I'm always, anyway, 5-8 left-handed, grounds to second X. That is for Stanley 4-8. And for some of you, it may be very, very monotonous for me to stop and look at things, but that's the only way I'm going to learn. That's 19, Stanley 4-8. He gets 2 at G1. E8, 5, 10, 13, and he throws him out. You're going to double check. Let me wait for you to double check. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. I take very seriously the feedback I get from people. I'm going to frickin' take a quick look right now as Bob Christian comes to the plate. I'm going to first see if the index could give me a look here. Ground ball. It's going to be here, ground ball plus. Now, what we see here, rule number 20.6. Okay, let me take a look here, because I'm looking even at the basic game. This is where it is a runner being held or infield in. Either is a single. But let me check out rule number 20.6. Let's check it out here. Convert any batter's card ground ball followed by a plus to reach single, all runners advance. That's with infield in. Okay. With infield in on super advanced X chart, of course, we know the pound. The question I have is, will this apply to runners being held? This is very important. So, runner being held, I don't bring the infield in that much. I probably should do so more. You know, in a very tight game, I will do it, but this is very important. So we are going to see that as a single with the infield in, but not being held. Somewhere, ignore when held. I wonder where that says that. I'm sure. Okay, so that's going to be plus on infield in. Okay. You know, it's not easy to keep all this straight, you know? Ignore when held. I think I'll write that down on my, I'll write that down here. I think that, you know, until you get these things really solid, and I'm sure this chart is going to need to be, here we go. So there's the plus. We will just sort of keep that there. Ignore when runner held. Yeah. Okay. I wonder why they do that. Why they ignore it with held but make it within. Infield in. And it's incorporated where on the X chart, you're going to have infield is in, and also the infielder responsible for holding a runner, not any infielder. It would be an S2. So it's an interesting calculation. Here's Christian with 2 outs and nobody on. We're in the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Seattle. Yeah, it's challenging, Joel. And yeah, you could laugh. I get a chuckle every time you say it never ends. Here's Patton now. The pitch to Christian. That's 111 right-handed. That's a ballpark blast for Christian. Oh my! And but it's a 17. He's right-handed, and it's caught out in left by Walton. And it's another 1-2-3 for Marty Patton. Again, 111 right-handed. Ballpark blast. He's got the power, but a 17. So the side is out. Patton has retired the first 6 White Sox here today. We've gone 2. It's 1-0. And here's Nyman now. Been in a bit of trouble each inning. He allowed a run in the first. Harper started off with a base hit, stole second. Came home on Hovley's base hit. Here's Hovley now, 1 for 1. That is an important thing to remember. Do not abandon the plus equaling a single for infield in. Do not do so, people. This might most likely be my last cup here. Okay, Nyman is ready. Hovley, a left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. That's going to be 1-7 left-handed, fly ball center. And under that is Bravo to make the catch, 1 away. Angel Bravo out in center field. 1 down. And here's Wayne Comer, who popped to the catcher, Ed Herman. Okay, Nyman. The pitch to Comer. That's 5-10. Right-handed, walked him. So Comer is on. We'll go through the Comer dance again. Or was it with Hovley last time? They're both Bs. Comer, 18 out of 25. 5-10 right-handed. Again, that's a +5 battery ratio. Be 21 with a lead, be 19. We're going to try for the lead here. He is being held. He is being held. That's a 12. And he will not get the lead. And that will make him 1-12, 1-17, 1-13. Once again, we'll let him sit there being held. If he wasn't held, he does not have the lead. If he wasn't held, he'd be a 1-12, 1-17. 1 to actually he'd be a 1-12, 1-17, 1-13. If he wasn't held, though, he'd be a 1-12, 1-17. He's being held. And Frank has arrived. That's a big difference there. Again, because I'm new to it, Comer 1-12 without the lead, 1-17 with the battery, 1-17, and then if not being held, he's a 1-17. Wow. But he is being held. He is a 1-13. That's a big difference. Here's Danny Walton now. It's Comer on first being held. Here's Nyman. And the pitch to Walton. That's going to be a 6-7 right-handed. That is a drive hit out into the gap. It's dropping. And it's going to be a double for Walton. Comer will go to third. So it's second and third with one out. Remember, Nyman has a 5.29 ERA. Very, very juicy there. That was a 6-7 right-handed. So it's Walton on second, Comer on third, one out. Greg Goosen is the batter. Some of you may think it's an unusual thing to do, but we're going to walk him for a couple reasons. One is to set up the double play. That's the main reason. The other one, an infield back double play. The other reason is he's a pretty tough hitter, even though it's lefty. He's a right-hander. So the bases are full now. An intentional walk to Goosen, and here's McNertney. And McNertney hit 241. He's Goosen, look at him. He had a great with 139 at bats. Great home run ratio, 309 hitter. Here's McNertney with the bases full, one out, infield back. Here's Nyman. 3-8 left-handed. Ground ball second. And hold on, we're going to check this out here. It is a plus. The infield is not in. We got a ground ball, 3-8. Remember when you first looked at these charts on Basic when you were young? 3-8 left-handed, ground ball second A. Bases loaded. The batter is out. The runner on first is out. Double play. It is a double play. Oh my God, the Dow has plummeted this afternoon. So it is going to be a we'll call it a 4-6-3 double. And it worked. It worked. It was 3-8 left-handed. 4-6-3. You can do it, I guess, on your predilection, on how you want to score that. 4-3. But thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Yeah. Thank you. You can't always do the right thing, but sometimes. Often I get burned often. You know that. No runs, one hit the double, 2 walks, one of them intentional to Goosen, and you got to check him out. He was the extra. He was like an extra for Gene Hackman. Did you know that? After he retired, he went to the movie sets, and I don't know the exact arrangement, but I don't know if he did stunts for him or what, but that's pretty wild. And Dave Little has arrived. Here's Dave Little. Dave, I'm really having a good time here doing super advanced stealing, ground ball, super advanced results, stretching, holding, fly ball B ? Having a real good time. We're in the middle of the third. It's going to be Patton again. Now, Patton has retired the first 6 batters in this ball game. Proper intentions, if you mean well. Is that what you mean? I just don't want to be embarrassed by all of you. I know one embarrasses themselves. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to come across. But you're all good people. And you're all understanding. You could point out errors. I don't need to take it personally. And that helps me learn. Okay, here's Morales leading it off. Patton on the mound. He's retired the first 6 White Sox here. The windup and the pitch to Morales. You know, that backfires a lot on me. 310 right-handed. He grounds it to third, and Harper has it. Throws to Goosen. 1 away. That's 7 in a row for Patton here today. Oh, look at his ERA. 5.62. Look at that. Here's Bobby Knopp. Yeah, Dave. You're counting on the Dow? That's funny. The Dow, everything was looking pretty good, Dave, until this afternoon. The Dow sort of bottomed, hit into the red. NASDAQ and the S&P are still up. That's a good attitude, Frank. That's a good attitude. Here's Patton, the pitch to Knopp. That's going to be 2-7. Right-handed, he grounds it to second. Fielded by Stanley, 2 away. I'll tell you, Patton going through the lineup here. And here's Jerry Nyman, his first plate appearance in the ball game. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Patton now, the wind-up, and the pitch to Nyman. And that's 6-7 left-handed, and there's a drive. Hit out into the gap for Nyman. Ay, ay, ay. It's going to be a double. You know, he's a 1 WL. You wonder how many times did something like that happen, especially this year. I don't know why they don't have his batting. Oh, here it is. He didn't play much at all. He had an 050. He did have a double. He did have a double this year. So, for what it's worth. Well, that's a good, interesting philosophy also, Joel. So it's Nyman on second with a surprise double, as far as I'm concerned. Here comes Walt Williams now. Clutch situation. Here's Patton. And the pitch. That's 6-3 right-handed. He walked him. So it's first and second, 2 outs. For Angel Bravo. Patton trying to get out of this. I'd like to get a hold of some of those glasses to look at the total eclipse due in 4 days, I think, but I don't know where to get them, and I'm not too easy for me to get around. Otherwise, I'll watch it on TV. First on second, 2 down. Here's Bravo now. He popped to McNerney, the catcher. Here's the pitch from Patton. That's a 1-8 right-handed. That is going to be a base hit. Nyman will hold at third. And that's always a hard luck situation, isn't it? When you get a single 1 asterisk and that does not allow a run. That'll load him up with 2 outs. It was a clutch situation. And here comes Spence. Now again, we're doing a replay. It's Bob Spence. We have injuries built in, so we use whoever the starting lineups were, including starting pitchers. We use relievers as a guideline, not required for who pitched. In fact, I did not put it in here, as I should have. Okay, I'll do that after the break. I'll take a break after 3. I put who pitched in the replay the last game and in who pitched in relief in real world in this game. And I have not done that. I usually do it. But if you go ahead and look here, you're going to see Bob Spence. And unless he hits like a upper 3 column against the right-hander Patton, he is not really, and we'll let him hit at least twice. Maybe more, especially if they're winning, we have no problem. So here's Spence, left-handed hitter facing Patton, 2 outs, clutch situation. Here's Patton and the pitch to Spence. It's 6-9, left-handed. Oh my, and does he have the power? It does not even say if he has the power. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it does. He's W. I don't know what I'm thinking, folks. 6'9", left-handed. My Lord. Look at this. He has W power. It's going to be 6'9", left-handed. Wait a minute. I don't know what I was looking at. It is not even an end home run situation, but it is a base hit by Spence. Nyman scores. Williams scores. Bravo to third. A 2-run clutch single there by Spence. On a 6-9, he's left-handed. 1-1. It was a single. So first and third, now it's a 2-1 ball game. And Bill Melton is the batter. Bob Spence with a big hit. Big at bat for Spence indeed. Wow, off of Patton. Patton trying to settle down now. Here's Melton. He struck out in the second. He started out so beautifully, retiring the first 8. He's fallen apart here. Here's Patton now. The pitch to Melton. That's going to be 2-11. Right-handed, chops it to first for Goosen. And Goosen will take it to the bag. And the side is retired. So not too bad. 2 runs. Whoops. On 3 hits, the surprising, and it's all with 2 outs. Nyman doubled, Williams walked, Bravo singled to load him up, and then Spence with the 2-out clutch single. And that was it. We've gone 3, it's 2-1. White Sox now. I'm gonna take a little break here. There was something, I gotta take a break for about 3 to 5 minutes, probably closer to 5, because I need to check to see who relieved in their last games. If you bear with me, that would be here, Atlanta. Singer, here's Seattle. Meyer, I remember that Seattle is pretty well rested. Meyer pitched a complete game, an incredible game, allowing 1 run in 9 innings. For Chicago, they used Osinski, and that's what I do this every game. I had forgot for this one, but of course I'd be forced to remember, as I was when we start to think about who's coming in. So we would surely not want to use Osinski. Anybody's eligible for Seattle in this game in real world, Miguel Fuentes. He's not carded. I think I have him. Dick Bainey. I'm not sure if I have him. He's not carded. And Bob Locker, who's the best they have. Again, Chicago won this 6-4 in real world. Wilbur came in real world and got the save. Nyman got the win. So there we're all set. I'm going to take a break just for a few minutes. This is the Strat-O-Matic Network. Jeffrey Guterman. It's 2-1 Chicago, and I will be back in just a few. Stand by, please. Oh. 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 Oh, that is good. You know, I am back. And here's Jerry Neumann, who suddenly is the winner of record here. If he, well, actually, he needs to throw a couple more innings. He'll face the bottom third. Stanley, Euler, and Patton. Okay, Stanley steps in. He had a double to lead off in the second and was left on. Here's Nyman now. Pitch to Stanley, 6-6 right-handed. He walked him. So Stanley's on. He's a D. He's a 20 with a lead, but they must go to great lengths to figure this stuff out because he does not get a lead. You see that? He got one stolen base in one attempt. His chances are minimal. We're not even going to deal with it. He's not held. And here's Euler now. It's Stanley on first to lead it off. Here's Nyman now from the stretch. And the pitch to Euler. That is 2-6 left-handed. He struck him out. That's the second today for Neumann. And here's Marty Patton now. Oh my God, the Dow is down 354. Okay, here's Nyman now. Patton the C bunter. And it's 310. He grounds it to short. It's an A. We're going to get used to this, but we're not going to take any chances. It is a double play. 310 double. And the side will be retired. No runs, no hits. The walk to Stanley, doubled up. None left. Bottom of the fourth. And here comes Patton now. Got into big trouble in the third. He allowed 2 runs. It'll be Ed Herman to lead it off. Okay, Patton now. The pitch to Herman. That's going to be 2-7 right-handed. He walked him. Herman is on. And here's Christian. Not being held. From the stretch, Patton. It's 110 right-handed, and that's hit well by Christian. Oh my, into the gap. And it drops in for a double. Herman goes to third. I think he's going to hold there. He is not too swift. A 1-8. Maybe that's true, Frank. Maybe that's true. In fact, I saw that, and it sounds like a lot of lip service to me, a lot of talk. They'll be watching for immediate protection of humans. And there was some other thing. It sounded like an ultimatum. Oh yeah, our policy depends on something like that. A ceasefire or taking care of humans. And then what if? When have we ever? What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't want to get political on you folks. I don't want, because I could upset some people. You know, I'm not a rabid Zionist. I'm Jewish. My loyalty is to the U.S. of A., and I'm not a hyper-nationalist anyway. But I don't have dual loyalty because I'm Jewish. You know, so that's a whole big thing. And I hope ceasefire for how long? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I was saying from the get-go, it's just my opinion now. And I'll say this, I won't say anything more. This should have been run, I know this is a nebulous expression, but as a covert military action to snuff out whatever the hell the name of that group is. Now NASDAQ is down. Hamas, okay? It was like putting a chainsaw through butter, you know, the indiscriminate. But again, I may lose some people if they're Zionists. I don't want to. One of the best things for me has been to get away from all this. And I'm playing Strat-O-Matic because I just can't take all the stuff in the world. Well, it's second and third now. Patton in trouble. There's action in the bullpen, believe it or not. I just want to make sure, see if I have these people. And some of you may say, you know, Jeff, what's with the pace of your games? And the answer is, this is how I like to play, especially now. Here's Bainey. Dick Bainey pitched in this game in real world, and he's got a decent card if you're a hitter. Okay. Okay, and I don't know if I have Fuentes. I think I might have Fuentes. Frank, I don't know if you're Jewish or what you're. I don't think it's relevant. Here's Fuentes. Let's check Miguel out. Here's Miguel Fuentes. Great Rhodes Scholar doing such a great service. He also doesn't have a great card. It's not as bad, and he is warming. Fuentes is warming, so yeah, exactly. No-win situation with the constituents of, you know, you have humanitarians on one side and Zionists on the other. I mean, you know, I know that's not great language to use, you know, and there's a lot of people on the left who are very upset about the policy. And then you have sort of like, how do you pick and choose? You have some people on the right, especially, who you're pro-Israel, but you also are calling for a ceasefire. You see, so it's neat how people could say it's either or. You recognize what, right? You know, it's not an either or thing. It can be both things. Okay, here's Morales coming up at second and third. The infield is back. You know, it's just, I'm not going to overthink this. The infield is back. And here's Morales now. The windup and the pit from the stretch, actually, and that's a 4-10 right-handed. Grounded to third X. Now we're talking infield back. It's 410 right-handed ground ball third X, and that is for Harper, a 428. Though, you know, this team, you know, even Harper, a 420. Oh, that's a re-roll. Don't even frickin' give it a second. 428, 18-4. It's a G1. Infield is back. He's an E28, and that's a 6'10", 11 at third. Oh, and he boots it. Oh, my. And, you know, you can't forget how bad these teams are. Okay, it was a 6'10", 11 on a E28. It is an E1, no doubt about it. And it's going to be a G1, E1. And you all know what that means. That means a run scores. And we don't know yet if it's unearned. I'm not an expert on that, but I'm pretty sure we don't know if it's unearned, if it's earned or not. If there's 2 straight outs, it would be maybe, I suppose. And if there's no run batted in, I don't believe. So it is first and third on the error by Harper. You get some and you lose some. Okay, he stole second and scored, but has now committed an error which has brought in a run. And here's Knopp. Bobby Noop. Noop grounded to second. It's first and third. At least they have a chance for a double play here. The infield is back. It's 3-1. Here's Patton now. The pitch to Noop. 4-4 right-handed, catcher X. Well, that might be okay, unless it's a pass ball. McNertney, though, is good. He's a 2-5. He was considered a real player, you know, when they drafted him, albeit at, I guess, the end of his career. It was a 4-4 right-handed catcher X to McNertney, a 2-5. 2-5, that's 11-2. He pops it up. Let's see, that's a perfect situation. Let's see if he can get to it. It's an E5, 5-8, 11. And he makes the catch. It's going to be a nice pop-up to get the first out. And now with Nyman coming up, there is a chance for a double play. It's 1 down, 1 in, and here comes Nyman. It's 3-1, Chicago. Chicago badly indeed. Knopp. Yes, I was actually joking. I think it was, who was it earlier? Don't tell me it was you, Frank. I think it was Demos. Yeah, Demos said it's Knopp. But he also said that he's not sure why, but I used to pronounce Knopp as Noop, N-U-E-P, rhyming with loop. And I just thought I would go along with that. It was David. So here's Nyman now. He doubled. It's an interesting ball game. First and third, 1 down. 1 down, infield back. Here's the pitch from Patton now. That's going to be 2-2. He pops it up again. Perfect. And under that is Stanley for the second out. See, that's the kind of thing you need to do to get out of a jam. It was Demos, yeah. We have Noop. He said Noop. I guess it is Noop. Noop is better than Knopp. Well, yeah, double O is not, unless you have a silent O there. You have a silent K and a silent O, we'll pronounce it. Here I'm looking at, I'm sorry to be so cynical, okay? I've gotten very cynical, but I like this guy. I like the guy. The military, the Pentagon's press secretary, I forgot his name. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, you know? But very, very political. Okay, here's Williams now. 2 outs, it's first and third. Patton with a chance to get out of this. With 1 run, of course, and it would be unearned, I believe. If he gets Williams, here's the pitch. That's going to be 3-4 right-handed. It's a clutch situation, base hit for No-Neck Williams. No-Neck Williams has hit a clutch base hit to bring in Christian. And Morales goes to third. I don't know if we got to pull him now. By the way, you say Mr. Little. It's David. I learned this. I'm saying this to everybody, and Demos can correct me. Baseball Demos goes by David, not really Dave. And Dave Little goes by Dave. So there you go. And look at that. A big clutch situation for Williams, the no-neck wonder. Look at that. That's a clutch hit. And I think that will be it. It's 2 outs. You know, it's not like they have a lot of pitchers waiting, but he just finished batting. If you all want to suggest, not that this game really matters too much, but with Bravo coming up, I think they're going to keep him in. I think they'll keep him in just to see if he can get him. If not, then he's out. Okay, it's 2 outs. It's only 2 runs in. I know only. That's 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3. That is unearned. That last run is unearned. And of course, any of you could correct me on any of this if you want. I'm not an expert on that shit, but that would have been 3 outs. Here's Bravo. No-Neck Williams. We're not even going to analyze that. We're not going to hold him. There's an intuitive thing, I think, Demos, that I can look at this with an eye glance and see that it's really not worth holding or even trying to get a lead. Here's Bravo now. And especially if you want to say, because they have a 0 battery quotient. Patton. Here's the pitch to Bravo. Whoa, that die didn't, I don't think that went in. We do have a house rule. It turned out to be a 2. We're going to hold this. We're not going to start getting into what it would have been or anything like that. But, and I wish you wouldn't look, you know, but what we're going to do is we're going to replay that again to see if that thing made it through. We wonder whether this die made it through. It landed as a 2. Let's check it out here. Holding or even trying to get a lead. Here's Bravo now. We don't have slow motion. Especially if you want to say, because they have a 0 battery quotient. We have very, very strict rules, house rules for the dice. One of them is they all have to go through the tower. Okay? The other is they need to all land flat. These are relatively rare, the non-tower rolls. Patton. Here's the pitch to Bravo. Okay, it's a stop and go. And there's 2. What? It did not go through. Oh, it did not go through the tower. That went in. No. Here's the pitch to Bravo. One more time. No, only
Oh,
only
that's
3-2.
I don't think that went in.
So better better safe than sorry, folks.
In today's ever-changing world, you never know.
That's what my mother used to always tell me. And we're gonna get back. That is funny stuff. Yeah, demos. That's funny. You know what you like, don't you? And you know what's right. Did you really? Did you really? You're just joking. It's a re-roll. So here's Patton still trying to get out of this now. See if we can get the pitch over the plate. Pitch to Bravo. That's going to be 2-9 right-handed, and it's tapped back to Patton. He's got it, and he throws Bravo out. You got him just to come back right at him. 2-9 right-handed. Side is retired. 2 runs, though, one of them unearned. On a double, the error, a very costly one by Tommy Harper. And 2 runs came in. Then the single by Williams, no neck, who knocked in Christian. We're heading to the 5th. It's 4-1 now, Chicago. And out comes Nyman. We'll see how Nyman fares. It's going to be the top of the order. Nyman, his first endurance is the 6th. Seattle down by 3. They went ahead 1-0 in this game. And now it's 4-1 Sox. There it is, 5-10, right-handed, and he walked him. Harper has walked. He's going to go for the lead. And he's going to be held. We can figure that out without even looking at anything. No chance he can be thrown out. Caught stealing on the attempt for the lead. It's a 10. He does not get the good lead. 1-15. That's going to be 1-20. And a 1-16. 1-16 being held. We don't need a run. We need a few runs. We'll let him sit. Very conservative. Here's Hovley now, 1 for 2. Pitch from Nyman, 3-3 left-handed. And that is a liner to second. Oh, caught. Pretty play by Noop. Bobby Noop with the catch. 1 down on a 3-3 left-handed. Single 1-12. It was Noop. Got to it. Here's Comer now. Pitch from Nyman. 2-9 left-handed, struck him out. So Nyman has settled down a bit. And Danny Walton is the batter. Now I'm hearing Miguel Fuentes will come in next inning. That's going to be it for the young Marty Patton. Interesting decision, interesting timing. They let him finish the inning, but Fuentes, the youngster, will be coming in. Here's Nyman. It's just an intuitive kind of decision I make. You know what I mean? It just goes through your blood, and he struck him out, and you just sort of go with it. And you try not to overthink it. It's 3-9 left-handed, and he gets the last 2 batters. Nyman has settled down pretty much. No runs, no hits. He did walk Harper, but he left him. They held him and left him on base. It's 4-1, and there is going to be a new pitcher here. I mean, it just seems so typical to just let Patton stay in and pitch. I know it was the old days, but still, he did not look good in those last 2 innings. He ends up pitching 4, allowing 3, 4, 5 hits. He walked 2, struck out 2, and he allowed 4 runs. One of them was unearned, and it is going to be Miguel Fuentes coming in. For Seattle, doesn't look too bad to me. Miguel Fuentes is out now. He is on the mound now, and he's getting ready to take his warm-ups. Oh yes, Miguel, of course, was at a bar in Puerto Rico during the off season after the 69 year, took a leak because the bathroom was broken. He went outside to take a leak, somebody saw him do it, and he got shot to death. Miguel Fuentes, quite a prospect too. So Fuentes now taking his warm-ups. I wish I had great frickin' a pea shooter, exactly. And you can go look it up, folks. There's not a lot on it, but that's what happened. That's the consensus from the sources I've been able to get. He was at a bar in Puerto Rico, and again, they said the plumbing wasn't working. The toilet was broken, something. You would think, don't they have a urinal? You could just pee in it. But he did what anyone would do. He went out to take a leak, but apparently one guy thought it was too close to his car, and he shot him to death. That sounds like something that would happen in the bottom 48 states, of the U.S. of A. Gotta take I think we've all taken a leak on the side of the road, or many of us, but try not to do it near a frickin' car. I've always tried to do it in an open area. In any case, here. Oh, how frickin' sad. Here's Fuentes, and he's ready. He is a right-hander, and it's going to be Spence to lead it off. Look at that. We got 2 cards. 2 folks are matched here. Bob Spence, who had the huge double earlier. We have Spence and Fuentes facing each other. They're not carded. Spence, left-handed hitter. Here's Fuentes, the wind-up. The pitch to Spence now. That's going to be 5-8. Left-handed. And he flies it to right. And under that is Comer, and it's 1 away. It's an impressive young man on the mound. It was a 5-8 left-handed. So Spence is retired. Can you imagine if you had to do it always like this? Here's Fuentes facing Melton now. I try to go back and forth for you to be able to show you all the cards. 1 out, nobody on. Fuentes gets the sign from McNerney. Here's his windup. Has a quick windup. And the pitch, 6-12, right-handed. And Melton chops it to first. And there's Goosen going for it. He's got a fast delivery, that kid. A 6-12 right-handed grounder. Goosen, of course he's a 4. A 4-11. This was a bad team, folks. Sometimes they will surprise you, though. 4-11, that's going to be 11-4. It's a G3. This is with no one on. Goosen trying to get that E11, 6-12, 18. That doesn't smell right. You eventually know it is a 2-base error. You know, you get a feel that's not. The higher those numbers are, it's not pretty. Goosen, it's a G3 E2. Okay, Goosen with an E11, 6-12, 18. And there's the E2. And not only that, it was a G3. It wasn't so easy for him to get to. But he will hold a second on the error by Goosen. Goosen really, it's almost like it was like it could have rolled past him into left field. It's a 2-base error. Oh, I'm sorry. It was an E2. Yeah. I'm so sorry, people. He's an E11, 6-12, 18. It was a 2-base error, sure. It could have rolled into the outfield. It could have done a lot of things. Okay, but in any case, Melton is on second with 1 out. Of course, we're getting kind of intuitive with the super advanced, maybe cocky, but the E rating is the first red flag. No need to hold, no need to go. You know what I mean? And look at that 13, and then it's going to go down from there. In fact, we have a new quotient with Fuentes in. Sometimes you may not even, Fuentes is a +9 hold. Fuentes is a +9 hold. Holy cow. They want that so that even if you have a great catcher, your McNerney's a +1, it's a +10, so he's going to be a +5. Okay. That's the B. I was supposed to put it below. His battery quotient with McNerney is +5. And Rick is here. Great to see Rick here. It's a 4-2 ball game. A 2-base error by McNerney. You could say it went through his legs, and Melton was key on it, and he went to second on that. You could say it's a throwing error, whatever you want. Bobbled with a throwing error. In any case, here's Herman now. Okay, Fuentes. Pitch to Herman. That's 5-3 left-handed. Fly ball right X. Comer, now he's a 3-8. It's a little better than how you might be used to. Comer trying to get to that now. 3-8, 13-3. So he gets to it on an F2 E8. 3-6-8. And he flags it down on a 3.68 E8. On the F2 and a runner on second, you have a chance to send him to third. We're not going to bother. We're just not going to bother. Okay, and there's 2 away. 4-1 lead. We're just not going to play with that right now. Here's Bob Christian now. Oh, so sorry. Straighten things up here. Christian steps in, 2 outs. It's a clutch situation. Here's Fuentes trying to get out of this inning. The pitch to Christian. Oh, that's a 1-7. Right-handed, grounds it to short, not being held. Infield not in. And he throws him out. And the side is retired. So we think we got that right. No runs, no hits. The error by Goosen with Melton left on base. Miguel Fuentes gets out of that. Nice inning for Miguel. And this is a big story here. Jerry Nyman, he can explode any time. You got to keep an eye on him. Oh, I know, Rick. It was a heartbreaker. Glad you watched that. Appreciate that people see things, even if it's on demand, even if it's not live, especially. It's just nice to know. Okay, here's Nyman in his first endurance inning, and it will be Goosen. Goosen 0 for 1, intentionally walked and doubled up. Okay, Nyman is ready. The windup and the pitch to Goosen. That's going to be 4-7 right-handed, fly ball center for Bravo. 1 away. And here's McNerney. White Sox only 5 games ahead of the Pilots, so they've had their troubles. They're lucky to be in 4th. Seattle is ahead of the Royals, surprisingly. Latest standings are posted on the community board through all games of September 16th. This is the first dated on the 17th. Here's the pitch to McNerney. 5'9" right-handed. He struck him out. Nyman has settled down. That's at least what I'm thinking. Let's give this guy some credit. He may have a big ERA, but he's in the majors. Okay, 2 outs. There's a reason why he's in the majors. And here's Fred Stanley on the White Sox, nonetheless. Needless to say, with 10 starts. I mean, the White Sox are well, I don't know what you'd call them. Well, they're original 8, okay? White Sox are, I don't know how far back the name goes, but the Chicago White Sox go back to probably the turn of the century, if not earlier. At least when the junior circuit was formed, I guess. They were the Chicago White Sox. They were They were out west. They were a West team. I think that was a cool era. The 1911 set is very cool in the sense that you've got, you know, basically a league of teams based on the demographics of the era. You got them in the Northeast, and then you have scattered in some spots in the West, we'd call it. St. Louis, Chicago has 2. St. Louis had 2. That's 8 out of 16. 4 out of 16. I know I'm missing some. Oh yeah. Ohio has 2. That's. I mean, there's no state that has 1. I think there's St. Louis. It's Missouri, Illinois, Chicago, St. Louis, Illinois, Ohio, Cleveland, Cincinnati. You do have. There's another one that I'm I'm forgetting again. St. Louis, Chicago. Ohio, St. Louis, Chicago, Ohio, Detroit. That's going to be 6, 7. 6, 7. I'm not sure if there's anybody else without me thinking. You know what I mean? Without me looking. 7, but that's 7 out of 16 teams are out in the West. I guess there was a reason to go out there. Okay. But in any case, here's Stanley with 2 outs, nobody on. Nyman now, really looking good. Here's Nyman now. Pitch to Stanley, that's 1-9 left-handed. He grounds it to second. And it's Noop. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. You know what I'm going to do, folks? I think I'm going to do it just because I feel like it. You know, it's just sort of an intuitive kind of thing. Hold on a second. And you know, I like the community here. I like the Strat-O-Matic community, and I like us to support each other. I go to others' games. I go to demos. I go to Aqualung. Aqualung has a 4:30 start. Okay, well that's even better. I'm going to take this one to about 4:20 or so, and just because I feel like it, and I'm not going to rush it, and I'll pick this up on the top of game 2 tomorrow morning or tonight. I might set it up. But I'm going to be going there, and that's the great thing about Strat-O-Matic. You can pause it, you can dice it, you can do so many things with it. Here's Miguel. That means we still have a good over half an hour left in this ball game here to play. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-1. And I think it's a neat thing to be able to watch this youngster from Puerto Rico, Miguel Fuentes, on the mound. And I think he may have a good future, as long as he doesn't piss in any of the wrong places. And I hope, I'm sure he might have had, family. But what a sick world we live in. You can't even take a leak by accident. You know what I mean? Next to a car. So Miguel Fuentes on the mound. He'll face Morales, Noop, and Nyman. I'm sorry if I laugh at my own shit. I'm so sorry. Okay, here's Fuentes. The pitch to Morales. 3-9. He is a right-hander, and he grounds it to short. That's scooped by Euler. He's a good shortstop. He likes to drink, too. 1 out. I don't know that he could hold it as well as some people. He's out periodically. I think some of it may be due to alcohol, where he just had a bad night. He drank a lot. So it's 1 down. Again, it was a 3-9 right-handed. And there's 1 away. Here's Noop, Bobby Noop. Bobby. Suppose the K is silent. Woo! Oh, folks. Here's Fuentes now. I had some serious games lately. 6-6 for Fuentes on the right-hander. I'm just letting off a little steam here, and he struck him out. You know what I mean? Just letting off a little bit of tension. That is the first strikeout by Fuentes. It was a 6-6 right-handed, folks, with Noop swinging. And because he's right-handed, as you can see. And here comes Nyman now. In this to win this. Oh, yeah. Okay, Fuentes. I've had some really enjoyable times with Strat-O-Matic, especially even just the last few days. Here's the pitch from Fuentes. So that is a 5-7 left-handed. He hits it to second X. And of course, that will be Stanley a 4-8. See, we really slow it down sometimes. Sometimes I'm really, you know what I'm saying? 4-8. I'm moving this over here. I'm doing this for the viewer, you know. I'm not here to rush through it, but I don't want to do it slow either. Too slow. That's 8-4. He's an E8. And it's going to be a G3 pound. No one being held. Nobody on. And again, he is an E8 Stanley. 6, that doesn't look good. 6-8, 12. 6-10, 12, E8 though. It's pretty good, E8. And he throws him out. And the side is retired. So how do you like that? Nyman really, that's Fuentes. Fuentes really impressing on the mound, this youngster. Let's just hope he could keep it in his pants, you know, unless it's appropriate in no situation. He could end up, you know, he could have ended up being like a superstar. We don't know. You go look him up, folks. I think he pitched this 1 year. I could be wrong. Maybe he pitched a year before this, but 69 was his debut. He was, in fact, he was all set to go to Milwaukee in 70. He was considered a good prospect. In fact, if you want to go look at his numbers, Miguel Fuentes, let's check out how he was. And yeah, it was just this year. He was 1-3. He had a 5.19 ERA. You really can't tell. He started 4 games, had 26 innings pitched, 29 hits in 26 innings. Look, it was his first year. He did strike out 14 in 26 innings. We're going to head to the top of the 7th. We'll take a break for the stretch. even though the whole thing is a break. And here's Nyman, who's pitched really good baseball. Really. He got into trouble in the early innings. He has settled down here in the middle, and we'll see how he fares. Ray Euler to lead it off. Yes, a 165 hitter. We'll let him lead it off, folks. We're not going to start playing around here. We're not playing this like it's the 7th game. We think he might be able to get on. Unfortunately, we're going to hit for Fuentes. Okay, we will hit for Fuentes, the youngster. It's 3-8 left-handed, struck him out. And that's the 6th for Nyman. And Nyman has retired 7 in order. 9 out of the last 10 batters he's faced. And there's going to be a hitter for Miguel. There's no reason we need to let Miguel, the youngster, go more than 2 innings in relief. I think that's fine. He did very nicely. No runs, no hits, no walks, no errors, no drips. One guy got on, Melton, on the boner by Goosen. He struck out a batter, did very nicely. And we could bring Bainey in, but, you know, this guy Bainey, it's like throwing the game away. Dick Bainey, I'll tell you what his ERA was. And if there's anybody, because the bullpen is sufficiently rested, we might pass up. And this is sort of gaming the system, gaming the cards, knowing he had an ERA. Well, it was 3.86. His card looks worse to me. Okay, Bainey will come in. He pitched 18 innings. Bainey will come in, 3.86. That's better than almost anybody on this team. Let's see who's hitting. It's going to be Bainey. And we have him. He's not carded. It's about 3,000 here at Comiskey. Can you imagine? For a doubleheader. I wonder if it was a split, because they don't list the attendance on the first game. They list it on the second as 3,643, and they call it a night game, and they called this first game a day game, and I guess it could have been, we don't know. I mean, if you look it up, you might be able to find, but it could have been, it could very well have been. Anybody out there? There's going to be a hitter. Let me see who hit in real world here. Gus Gill hit, and John Kennedy hit. That's good to know. And Hegan ran. John Kennedy. But, you know, Hegan is a left-handed hitter, so he's not really. Gus Gill is a right-hander. Kennedy is a right-hander. Going against Nyman. We could try, you know, they don't really have anybody. I mean, I could go with Jim Pagliarone, you know, 241, but I don't know. I could go with Mincher, but he's a left-handed hitter. But we'll go with John Kennedy. I am fascinated by John F. Kennedy. I don't idolize him. I don't, you know, I'm more than glad to criticize him, but I've always been fascinated with the JFK assassination. I really have. And in fact, I'm a bit of a JFK assassination buff, if you will. I don't know if that's appropriate language, but not an enthusiast either. That's not student, maybe. And it's going to be Kennedy. So here's Nyman, the left-hander. He's retired 7 in a row, 9 out of 10. The wind-up, the pitch to Kennedy. Whoa, 5-5 struck him out. That's 7 strikeouts now, and 2 in a row this inning. Kennedy goes down with a 5-5 right-handed. And this is, by the way, Nyman's second endurance inning. What the hell am I doing here? Where is my... What the hell happened here? Where are my spare whites? Oh, there they are. There they are. Okay. Okay, the batter is Harper. Very quiet here. Harper 1 for 2 and a walk. Again, he singled. Stole second, came home on Hovley. Walked and stranded in the 5th. Here's Nyman now. The pitch to Harper. And that's going to be a 4-7 right-handed and a fly ball center. And under that is Bravo for the catch. And the side is retired. It was a 4-7 left-handed, right-handed. And Nyman is something special today, no doubt about it. And again, struggled in the early innings and has really settled down. And there will be a new pitcher. It will be... His name is Dick Bainey. Dick Bainey. Again, thanks to Rhodes Scholar there. I like to cut and paste them from my email so that we have a nice unobstructed situation, unencumbered. Dick Bainey is still alive. He's 77 years old. He played for a lot of teams, probably. I'm just guessing. Here he is on the Reds. Bainey will come in. He's a youngster. You could probably tell me better than I would know, but he only pitched for 3 years in Major League Baseball. And he only had 18 at-bat innings pitched this year. He was on the 73 Reds, who won the division, of course, and were really a super team. You know, they lost to the Mets in the playoffs. He pitched 30 innings fairly effectively. I don't know if he was on their roster at the end. Frankly, I don't care. Hey, Steve Aquilung has arrived. Steve, I know you got a 4:30 start, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm in the 7th inning stretch here. It's a 4-1 ball game, and I'm having just too much fun here, Steve. And don't you even say anything about it. I've decided already this game will be suspended at about 4:20 p.m. Eastern, because frankly, I want to go to this Dodger game. The 66 game at Cincinnati. I don't know who's pitching. Exactly. Well, I have I think you're referring to the ground ball super advanced chart. We're taking a little break here in the middle of the 7th. And again, I'm going to resume this game either after Steve's game, which I may not, or tomorrow morning on top of the second game of this doubleheader, which I'm enjoying myself. I'm really, gives me a nice, relaxed feeling. I can, Steve, you meant, of course, and you just said yes. I found it, and I found it actually last night. It was a rude awakening, which was part of the Braves tying the Giants, and now their magic number is 10. We've got that right over here. Folks, we've got things all set up here. I'm going to give you a little bird's eye view here, folks. I've got, I think I've got a setup that works for me nicely. Okay, there's everything right there. There's your field and your score sheet. Here's your tower. These are your starting pitchers. Bainey is coming in, and he's not carded, so that's why he's not here. This is Nyman, who really has pitched great. Here's the starting teams for each team. These are my spare pilots. These are my spare, over here, my spare White Sox. This is my personal, you can call it a cheat sheet, a cliff note for super advanced stealing. Here's a spare scrap of paper if I need it for a worksheet. I really don't need it. These are, of course, here's my ground ball super advanced chart. Until I get it in my bones, I won't need that anymore, but that's going to take a while. And then here is my sort of an auxiliary sheet to remind myself of rules in super advanced. When stretching, you always add 1 if not held, and subtract 1 when held. And don't forget the +2 if there's 2 outs. And here's stretching, the running rating from right to third and left to third. Okay, that's another part of the formula. It was learned today from Joel. A plus single is not entirely negated in super advanced. It is negated for holds, but it still applies to become a single 2 asteroids with the infield in. Over here we have if runner held on X. This is really something to be cognizant of but it's on X. If they're held, I need to be cognizant of that. And then we have fly ball B+. You're going to do this equation, but don't forget to add 2. Don't forget to just add 2. So we have these rules which this one's a little tricky. I think the more I look at it, add +1 to the fielding rating if the runner is being held. Folks, I'm going to be back in about a few minutes. This is my tripod, as you can see. Nice. There it is right there. I'm going to be going to Steve's ball game at 4:30 Eastern time. That's going to be 1:30 his time on the West Coast. It's the Dodgers at the Reds, 1966 replay. And I'm going to continue this game either tonight if I have the gumption, and if so, when I'm certain, I will post the time. Or I will tag it on to tomorrow morning's game at 7 a.m. That's 4 a.m. where you are, Steve. For the tack it on as continued of game 1 with game 2, which would be nice to do. And I know Koufax pitched last time, I believe. I hope today it's Drysdale. I'll be back just a few minutes, folks. We'll probably be able to get another inning in here. Maybe finish the game, I don't know. it doesn't really matter too much to me. It really isn't an issue for me at all. I'll be back in a few minutes. I have not even taken my break. I'm just having a lot of fun. And I want to thank you all of you for hanging out here with me. And really, this is the most fun I have in life. I'll be back. Hey, I'm back. Dick Bainey is the new pitcher for Seattle, and he comes in with a 0 hold, which is refreshing. So therefore, his battery quotient, along with McNerney, is only a +1, so Bainey can hold people on. Big Dick Bainey. Has taken his warm-ups, and here's Walt Williams. He may have no neck, but he knocked in a big run in the 4th with a single. He also walked and scored. And Williams steps in. He'll face Bainey. Bainey, right-hander. We're gonna go. We'll go till the bottom of this, through this inning, and then we'll pause this ball game and pick it up either later this evening, of which I will try to post it as soon as I know. That would be, I would not post whether I'm doing it until after 5, like at about 6 Eastern. I would schedule it if I'm going to do it. If I don't schedule it by 6 p.m. Eastern, I don't think I'm going to do it, and I will schedule it at that point then, probably for on top of tomorrow's game at 7 a.m. Eastern. That's 4 on the West Coast in the morning. Okay, here's Bainey now. Pitch to, no neck, Williams. And he grounds it to short, 1 out. No, 1 out. And that's going to bring up Angel Bravo. Bravo, 1 for 3. Here's Bainey now. Whoa, that went through. I believe that went through. 1-6. We're going to have to look at that. It's a base hit for Bravo. We're going to look at it, though. I'm pretty sure that went through. It felt like it might not have. That's the only thing. It felt on my right here that the die hit here. It seemed a bit too clean to have not gone through. But we say, you know, we're going to do it. We like it. It's a novelty. It's fun. That's a house rule. Let's check it out. Some of you may think I'm going too far. Maybe so. Maybe I am just a little giddy. I hope I had it on the tray. That's the problem. That's the problem. You don't have it on the tray. And here we go. That's going to bring up Angel Bravo. Bravo, 1 for 3. It's on the replay now. Here we go. This is Bravo. It would be a base hit. Here's Bainey now. There's 3. Oh, they all came through. It's, you know, it's the closest you get to instant replay, and it's going to be a 1-6, by the way. Oh, that went through. I believe that went through. 1-6. I had a little question. We're going to have to look at that. It's a base hit for Bravo. We're going to look at it, though. And we did. So some of you may think I'm twisted. It was a 1-6 base hit for Bravo with 1 out. If he gets a jump, he's good, but he's a 4. Which is, like I have to go through all of that, but because I'm still learning, okay? That means that he'd be held. If he tries to get the lead, we're going to hold him. We'll hold him up front. I don't think it's fair. Is it fair for me to figure out before I decide to hold him what it would be? I think that's pre-existing. So therefore it would be legitimate to do. Okay? I'd like to know if anyone has any input on that. Does it seem fair? He's a 20. He's got a quotient of +1, that's 21. And with a lead, 21, that'd be a 19. So we're going to try for the lead. And he is not out under any circumstance. Here's to see, it's a minuscule. It's a 4. No, he does not get the lead. He will not go. And we will unhold. We will unhold. I think that's legitimate, right? I don't have to hold him anymore. And here comes Spence, who had the big single. Now, if you take a gander here at his card, we're only letting him hit because they're winning. The White Sox 4-1. And here we go. This is going to be a one-on-one now. A card-on-card here with Bainey, the right-hander, facing Spence. Now here's Bainey. 1 out, Bravo not being held. Here's the pitch. That's going to be 2-6. Against Bainey, right-handed, struck him out. 2 down for Bainey. And here's that Bill Melton. We're going to close it out here, folks, after this half inning here on the Strat-O-Matic Network. I'll mention programming again once we pause here. Bainey from the stretch with Bravo on first, not being held, without a lead. We could try for it again. Now that we have unheld. Okay, can I do that? Can I try again for the lead on a new batter? I don't know if haven't gotten that through my head. I can go back and forth here. Hold on, hold on. While you occupy the same base. Yeah, you see, that's what need to get through my noggin. No, you cannot. I've unheld him, but I cannot try for the lead again. Here's Melton, not that it matters that much in this game. So he's not being held, 2 outs, Bravo on first. Here's the pitch from Bainey. And that's going to be 2-5. Right-handed, struck him out. So Bainey strikes out 2 here. The relief pitching is looking pretty good thus far. 3 scoreless innings. No runs. He did allow the single to Bravo left on. We've gone 7. It's a 4-1 ball game. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to pause this now. We are going to resume play, of course. If you go to my landing page, there will, this is what we're doing right now. By 6 p.m., that's my commitment, by 6 p.m. Eastern tonight, I will do one of 2 things. I will either set up a continuation of this game for this evening, starting somewhere between 6 and 7 p.m. Eastern. That'd be 3 and 4 on the West Coast. Or I will tack it on to this game, which is already scheduled for tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern in the U.S., or 4 a.m. on the West Coast. Maybe some of you have insomnia or early morning awakening on the West Coast. It is a 4-1 ball game. Nyman pitching great baseball now. Has retired 9 in order, 11 out of the last 13, which is an interesting thing to see. We're going to put this all away here and resume it. I'm going to Cincinnati in 1966 for the game that Steve Aquaman has scheduled. It's a 4:30 start on the East Coast, 1:30 on the West Coast. And it's going to be the Dodgers at the Reds. The game is right. I can pretty much guarantee you it's going to be right here. There it is. I do a filter for today. I'm sure you do the same. Here it is. It's going to be Los Angeles at Cincinnati. Played in real world May 6th. You're moving on quite a bit now into this replay. 1966. I'll be there. Put the notification on, put the like on before it even starts. Stay strong, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Guterman. This is the Strat-O-Matic Network. Stay strong, okay? Let's all try to stay strong and deal with whatever adversity faces us. I don't know what happened to me where I have certainly become more and more challenged to deal with problem solving. I'll catch you all later. Again, it'll either be tonight or tomorrow morning, but I'll be there for Steve's game.